رحم الله من قرأ سورة المباركة الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الحمد لله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله بارئ الخلائق الأجمعين باعث الأنبياء والمرسلين، ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء حبيب قلوبنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. ثم الصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين، لا سيما ولي الله الحجة ابن الحسن صاحب الأمر والزمان. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. روحي وأرواح العالمين له الفداء، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. آمين رب العالمين. أما بعد، قال الله تعالى في كتابه الحكيم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر. ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. صدق الله العلي العظيم وآمنا به. أحبائي, tonight being the 23rd night of Shahr Ramadan, Laylatul Qadr, and you find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala points towards the grandeur of this night and the adama associated with this night in Surah Al-Qadr, verse number 2, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ, in the sense that human comprehension is beyond the adamah of this night. The grandeur of this night is beyond human comprehension, which is why the verse says, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ. Adrak, yani from idrak, or one of its derivatives, idrak. Allah Azza wa Jalla didn't use the word ilm, وَمَا أَعْلَمَ or وَمَا يَعْلَمُ, for example, or arafa. It didn't use the word la arafa for ma'rifa and not ya'lam for alima or ilm, but rather he uses the word wama adraka from idrak. And this is to indicate, in very short, the inability of mankind to understand the reality of the grandeur of this night, which you and I are blessed to be living in and to be breathing for this night. From the many dimensions that mark the sanctity and the importance of this night, one dimension for the importance of Laylatul Qadr is found in Surah Ad-Dukhan. فَأَحِبَّائِ, if you were to refer back to Surah Ad-Dukhan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says from the beginning verses up to verse number 4, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Hamim, wal kitabil mubin, inna anzalnahu fi laylatin mubarakatin, inna kunna mundhirin. Mufassirin of the Quran and tafsir of Ahlul Bayt goes on to state, Inna anzalnahu fi laylatin mubarakatin. Indeed, we have revealed on this night which is Mubarakah, yani a reference to the revelation of the Quran. For you find that one dimension of the importance of Laylatul Qadr is that the Quran in its entirety was revealed upon the heart of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajjal faraja, on a night like this. The kalam on the Quran in itself, the bahath tawil, and the khususiyat, yani the particularities that revolve around the revelation of the Quran in its entirety upon the heart of Rasulullah. There is a lot to be said on this, and perhaps inshallah in the future we shall have a lecture which is particular and khas to understanding this reality. For our bahath for tonight, the verse goes on to say, فِيهَا يُفْرَقُ كُلُّ أَمْرٍ حَكِيمٍ. And it is on this night, Laylatul Qadr, that our entire destiny and the particularities that surround our destiny, our fate for the coming year, is decided on a night like this, on the night of Laylatul Qadr. For you find that hadith of Ahlul Bayt, and this ahibba'i, when we ponder into this, it allows us to understand the sanctity of this night, and it lays forward the foundation, or it sets the foundation for us in how we need to spend our night, what frame of mind we need to be in during this night. فيها, Allah Azza wa Jal says, فيها يفرق كل أمر حكيم. In regards to our fate and our destiny, all them details are decided on a night like this. For you have hadith of Ahlul Bayt that state that it is on these nights of Laylatul Qadr that our lifespan and our death is decided and is ordained by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَإِنْتُمْ أَحِبَّائِ شُوفُوا, family members who were with us last year and who are not with us on this night of Laylatul Qadr. And these last 12 months, their death was ordained on a night like Laylatul Qadr. Sickness and health. You look at those mu'mineen, mu'minat, who between last year and this year, who are absolutely fine in their health, but have been plagued with disease or have been plagued with sickness. Any one of us who have gone through a sickness and perhaps recovered or not recovered, these are decisions that are ordained, part of our destiny, which is ordained from the highest levels of the samawat, from the highest level of the heavens, on a night like this. Hadith goes on to say our rizq, our livelihood, is determined on a night like this. For all the efforts that you and I place, all the hard work that you and I place within any given year, whether this hard work is going to reap benefit, whether it's going to reap fruit or not, is decided on a night like this. Shuful ahamiyya, and the importance of this night of Laylatul Qadr. Everything and anything. Whether a couple will be blessed with children or not, is decided on Laylatul Qadr. Particularities of your life that you see on a daily basis. The person will be able to purchase a new house, move into a new house. Whether a person will go for Hajj and Umrah or not, so on so forth. All of this in regards to our fate is decided on a night like this, Laylatul Qadr. Tayyib. For you find, if we understand this, our next question is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says within the Quran, Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. The Quran is revealed on Laylatul Qadr. And then you have Laylatul Qadr, in which our fate is decided. As we said, Suratul Dukhan, Fiha yufraku kullu amrin hakim. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatin mubarakah. We revealed it on the night which is Mubarak. Layla is singular for night. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. Laylatil qadr. Layla is singular. فَلَيْلَةُ الْقَدَرِ is singular, one night. It is this one night of destiny. For if the Quran says there is one night of destiny and one night which is known as Laylatul Qadr, then why is it that we have within the Muslim Ummah multiple dates for Laylatul Qadr? You find from within the madrasa of the Amma, a number of them subscribe to the fact that within the last 10 nights of Shahrul Ramadan, the odd nights within the last 10 nights of Shahrul Ramadan are considered to be Laylatul Qadr. How can it be multiple nights, odd nights of the last 10, when Allah says in the Quran, Laylatul Qadr, Layla is singular? And similarly, when it comes to the madrasa of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, why is it that we say Laylatul Qadr is the 19th, 21st, and 23rd? 3 nights, whereas the Quran says Laylatul Qadr, Layla in is singular, as opposed to the plural, which would be Layali al Qadr. Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Quran 1 night, yet when it comes to our commemorations, there's 3 nights. How do we answer this? And why do we, as followers of Ahlul Bayt, abide to 3 nights for Laylatul Qadr as opposed to the Ammah? You find that, in essence, to understand the Adama of Laylatul Qadr, to give you a very short summary and then we enter into the detail. The significance of Laylatul Qadr as a single night is comprised of 3 nights in total. For these 3 nights, with their grandeur and their essence in the alam al-takween and within the qadr of Allah Azza wa Jal in the realm of the malakut, comprise of 1 night. 3 nights through their combined adamah and their combined grace is equivalent to this 1 night in its title of Laylatul Qadr. And these 3 nights, 19, 21, and 23rd, that we commemorate is as a direct result of the hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. For you find that when it comes to this issue of وَفِيهَا يُفْرَقُ or فِيهَا يُفْرَقُ كُلُّ أَمْرٍ حَكِيمٍ, in that our entire fate and our destiny is decided within the night of Laylatul Qadr, the decision or the decision of our fate and the revelation of our destiny is divided into 3 parts and 3 components. Notice this hadith al-sharif, which is narrated by Imam al-Jawad salawatullahi, or by al-Afu. Hadith is narrated by Zurara on authority of Imam Abi Abdullah as-Sadiq salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajjal faraja. Where the Imam goes on to say, التقدير في ليلة 19 والإبرام في ليلة 21 والإمضاء في ليلة 23. The decision of our fate being decided, our destiny being sealed on this night of Laylatul Qadr has 3 aspects or 3 parts. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam makes this clear for us. The first is on the 19th of Shahrul Ramadan in regards to our destiny. What happens at Taqdeer? The Imam says at Taqdeer fi laylati 19. Taqdeer meaning nuzul over here. In that the particularities of our destiny, right? So if you were to imagine your destiny for the coming 1 year, your fate for the coming 1 year, in general, what has been decided for you for these 12 months is revealed onto the malaika descends down from the heavens on the 19th of Shahrul Ramadan. It is a process that has stages, and these stages are divided amongst, or are divided between 3 days, or are divided between 3 nights. And these 3 nights comprehensively then, when put together, formulate or are equivalent to this night which we call Laylatul Qadr. So the first night is the descent of our fate from the heavens, Ibram. And then, or Takdir, afwan. Number 2, وَالْإِبْرَامُ فِي لَيْلَةِ إِحْدَى وَإِشْرِينَ. And then you have Ibram on the 21st of Shahrul Ramadan. Ibram means what? Ibram means ihkam. Ihkam yani our, on the 21st of Shahrul Ramadan, the fate, our fate, which was revealed on the 19th, or which descended on the 19th, on the 21st is then validated. For you notice, as we said, stages. On the 19th, it descends. On the 21st, it is validated. This is from the Umur Ghaibiyah. 21st, it is validated. وَالْإِمْذَا فِي لَيْلَةِ ثَلَاثَةَ وَعِشْرِينَ. إمضاء يعني تنفيذ, يعني توقيع. And on the 23rd night of Shahrul Ramadan, all the particularities of our fate and our destiny for the coming year, from our health and from our lifespan and death and so on so forth, is sealed and confirmed on the 23rd night of Shahrul Ramadan, on a night like this. For you notice, the descension and the decision of our fate for the coming year has 3 stages. The 19th, it is revealed. On the 21st, it is validated. On the 23rd, it is signed off as your confirmed destiny for the coming year. This imdah and this tanfidh, or this tawqi' yani signing off this destiny of yours, which is similar to the signing off of a legislation, which then cannot be changed or will be implemented. Who has the authority and who has been granted the authority to sign off the fate of the entire realm of existence on a night like this? We come to Suratul Qadr, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. من كل أمر يعني on this night of Laylatul Qadr, تنزل الملائكة والروح. The malaika and the ruh descend upon a certain person, a certain individual, فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر, with the fate of the entire human beings, which has been validated on the 21st and descended down on the 19th. The word tanazzal, yani from tatanazzal, yani continuous descension, meaning that in every year of every Shahrul Ramadan, in every year, the malaika and the ruh descend upon this certain individual. And hadith of Ahlul Bayt have made it absolutely clear that the entire fate of existence revealed down onto the Ma'soom Imam, who is the Hujjatullah fil Ard, and in our case, Maulana Sahib al-Amri wa Zaman, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajjal farajah. You find that this verse, تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالرُّوحُ فِيهَا بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِمْ مِنْ كُلِّ أَمْرٍ, is a verse where in its essence is used as an istidlal, to be able to establish the proof of the existence of a Ma'soom Imam. Because the grammar of this verse of the Quran, Tanazzalul malaikatu, the word over here, or the verb is tanazzal, from tatanazzal, yani a continuous action. Is there anyone from the Muslim Ummah or any madhab from the different madahib within the Muslim Ummah that can claim that on this night there is a person from amongst them upon whom the malaika descend with the fate of the entire creation? Abadan la. No one can claim this except the school of Ahlul Bayt. And from here we understand the role and the function of the Imam Zaman of our time, the functions in which he is involved on a night like this, where our entire fate for the coming year, our life, our health, whether we will die or we will remain alive, our wealth, whether we will be in poverty, so on and so forth, is signed off by the Imam Zaman of our time, Imam al-Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif. Fahada Ahibai sets the tone for understanding the greatness of the night in which you and I are blessed to be in. You find that within the hadith in regards to these nights of Laylatul Qadr, 19, 21, and 23. We have the hadith of Ahlul Bayt. In addition to this, there are also references from within Suratul Qadr that denote Laylatul Qadr is divided amongst 3 nights. Inside of Suratul Qadr itself, which shows that the Imams and the Quran are on par. This is the Quran Samit and the Quran Natik Ahlul Bayt. شوفوا أحبائي, refer back to Surah Al-Qadr. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna anzalnahu fi Laylatul Qadr. Wama adraka ma Laylatul Qadr. ليلة القدر خير من ألف شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. Inside of Surah Al-Qadr, how many times does the phrase Laylatul Qadr appear? It appears 3 times, which is why احنا 19, 21, and 23, as per the words of Imam As-Sadiq salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajjal faraja. This is one dimension. Ahibai. Number 2. Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alfi shahr. The night of Qadr, the nights of Laylatul Qadr, is better than 1,000 months. Ham biha kalam kathir. Even on this there is a lot of kalam. Yani, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says Laylatul Qadr is better than 1,000 nights, the word or the numerical, the number which is used over here, 1,000, is not, yani, its numerical value 1,000. It is used metaphorically to show infinite. This night of Laylatul Qadr is better than any other night that can be persevered, that can be thought of. Any other night that has been created. But even if you were to take the number 1,000 on its numerical value, يعني, this night of Laylatul Qadr is better than 1,000 months. And if you were to calculate 1,000 months, يعني, give or take, this is 83 years of a person's life. 83 years of a person's life, Ahibai. The action that you perform on a night like this has thawab of an entire lifespan. 83 years, a person, give or take, how much is a person's lifespan? 50 years a person lives, 60 years a person lives, 70 years a person lives. This night is better than 83 years. Yani, the a'mal that you perform on a night like this, the thawab that you can potentially gain from this night, is the thawab equivalent to a normal person's entire lifespan, if not greater than the average lifespan. شلون؟ Person who gives sadaqah on a night like Laylatul Qadr, the thawab that he gets is as if the thawab of a person having given sadaqah every day for 83 years of his life. A person recites verses of the Quran, spends the night reciting verses of the Quran on a night like this. He gets the thawab of as if he has recited these verses of the Quran for 83 years of his life. Notice the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the sense that how the thawab and our deeds are magnified on a night like this. A person who takes time on a night like this to study from the knowledge of Ahlul Bayt gets the thawab of a person who spent 83 years of his life, an entire lifespan, seeking the ilm of Ahlul Bayt. And on this basis, Ahibba'i, the person who remembers the masa'ib of Ahlul Bayt and the grief of Ahlul Bayt, enter on a night like this, Laylatul Qadr, Khayrum min alfi shahr, on this night of Laylatul Qadr, which is better than 1,000 months. And we're talking on the basis outside of the metaphorical understanding and the metaphorical symbolism of the word 1,000 months. If you were to take it on its literal meaning, person who weeps for Imam al-Hussein on a night like this, a person who spends this night in the grief of Imam al-Hussein, it's as if he has spent his rewarded 83 years of daily grief for Imam al-Hussein, grief for Abu Abdullah alayhi salam. And then you take it at its real meaning, infinite. You spend this night grieving for Ahlul Bayt. And you are raised on the day of judgment as a person who has spent his infinity weeping for Ahlul Bayt. Fa, person, a person on a night like this, plans his time and manages his time accordingly. And with this, I would like to end tonight's lecture with the dhikr, the masa'ib of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. And as we recite this masa'ib of Ahlul Bayt, the masa'ib of Karbala, Ahibba'i, do not forget the ziyarah of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam on these nights of Laylatul Qadr. For indeed, we have hadith al-Sharif, which is narrated over here in a number. In fact, they are found in multiple texts. In Tahdhib al-Ahkam you will find it, Al-Wafi you will find it, and even Al-Iqbal you will find the Hadith al-Sharif, which is narrated by Abi Qassah al-Kannani or Abi Sabbah al-Kannani and Abi Abdullah alayhi salam. قال, Hadith al-Sharif on authority of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, إذا كان ليلة القدر وفيها يفرق الله عز وجل كل أمر حكيم. When the night of Laylatul Qadr sets in, and this is the night where Allah Azza wa Jal sets forward everyone's destiny, نادى مناد تلك الليلة من بطنان العرش. On this Laylatul Qadr, on a night like this, an angel cries out from the core of the Arsh, Inna Allah qad ghafara liman zara qabr al-Husayn alayhi salam fi hadhihi al-layla. An angel cries out from the core of the Arsh that indeed Allah Azza wa Jal has forgiven the one who has performed the ziyarah of Imam al-Husayn alayhi salam. فأحبائي, even if physically our bodies are away from Karbala al-Muqaddas, person can perform the ziyarah with his heart, and with his heart he can spend this night in Karbala al-Muqaddas. For person must not forget or omit the ziyarah of Imam al-Hussein, and there is a ziyarah khasa for Laylatul Qadr. أحبائي مصائب أهل البيت مصيبة عاشوراء. Tonight, on this night of Laylatul Qadr, I want to recount for you the tragedy of Shah Qasim ibn al-Hasan al-Mujtaba, Qasim the lion and the shining moon of Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba, Qasim who was the representative of Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba in Karbala. The narrations mention that when the war on the day of Ashura began to intensify, and the youth of Bani Hashim, each of them had gone into the Maidan and achieved martyrdom. One by one, as the Bani Hashim entered in, seeking permission from Aba Abdullah al-Hussein, Qasim alayhi salam came to seek the permission of Aba Abdullah. Multiple times, Imam al-Hussein refused Qasim permission to enter into the battlefield. The Maqatil mentioned that Qasim alayhi salam was a young man in his teenage ages, yani in the beginning of his teenage days, youth who was at his peak at the beginning of his teenage days. Every time he would come to seek permission from Imam al-Hussein, Aba Abdullah alayhi salam would say to him, O Qasim, you are the remembrance of my brother Hassan al-Mujtaba. Until the time came where Shah Qasim alayhi salam was insistent on gaining permission. When Imam al-Hussein finally gave Qasim the permission to go into the Maidan, they hugged each other and they wept. The Maqtal mentions they wept intensely until both Imam al-Hussein and Qasim, both of them fainted. Allah, Allah. When Qasim regained consciousness, Imam al-Hussein wept his tears, and then he called out for a sanduk, for a particular chest to be brought out from the Khaybaga. From inside of this chest, he removed the amama of Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba, and he removed the qaba of Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba. He put the robe of Imam Hassan over the shoulders of Shah Qasim, and Imam al-Hussein began to tie the amama of his brother Imam al-Mujtaba around the head of Qasim. He then told Qasim alayhi salam to go into the Khaymaga and to bid farewell to his mother and to his aunt Zainab. Allah, Allah. Shah Qasim, the shining moon of Ahlul Bayt, as he entered into the Khaymaga, when Sayyida Zainab saw him in the Amama and the Qaba, she stood up with tears in her eyes and she cried out, "Oh my brother Hassan." It is as if Sayyida Zainab within Qasim had seen Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba on the deathbed vomiting pieces of his liver and vomiting blood. All the women hugged Qasim alayhi salam and he bid them farewell. He came out of the Khaymaga to go towards the Maidan. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam gave him the sword. He hugged him and he kissed him on the forehead, bidding him farewell for the final time. Imam al-Qasim went into the Maidan on foot and he began to attack the enemies while introducing himself. In Tunkiruni fa'ana ibn al-Hasan. If you do not know me, I am the son of Hassan al-Mujtaba. He began to attack the enemies with all the fervor and all the courage, for indeed the youth of Bani Hashim and the children of Hassan al-Mujtaba were the lions who were raised with the blood of Haydar al-Karrar. Shah Qasim attacked the enemies and dispatched the right and the left wing. A number of the Maqatil states that Shah Qasim killed close to 35 of the enemies despite being on foot and his young age, not to mention the hunger and the thirst of 3 days. As Shah Qasim dispelled the enemies, none of them was willing to come forward next to him. At that moment, Shah Qasim realized that the lace of his sandal had unopened. Shah Qasim bent down to tie the lace of the sandal as if to show all the enemies that they were not worth even the lace of his shoe. Allah, Allah. As Shah Qasim was bending down and tying his lace, one of the enemies by the name of Amr ibn Sa'ad al-Azadi came forward to strike Shah Qasim. The Maqtal mentions that the enemy of Allah came from behind and he struck Shah Qasim with a sword on his head. فَضَرَبَهُ اللَّعِينَ بِسَيْفِهِ عَلَى رَأْسِهِ. Allah, Allah, he struck Qasim with a sword on the head from the back. The intensity of the strike was such that Shah Qasim fell forward face first on the plains of Karbala. Allah, Allah. Ahibba'i, when the Shuhada of Karbala, when they were struck, each and every one of them in their final moments, they cried out, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah, or they said, Alayka minni salam ya Aba Abdullah, except for Shah Qasim. Because when Shah Qasim was struck, he didn't say Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. He said, Adrikni ya Amma. Help me, oh my uncle. The intensity of the strike was such, the coward attacked Shah Qasim from the back. When Imam al-Hussein heard the cry of Shah Qasim, the Maktal narrates that Imam al-Hussein went into the Maidan on his horse and he attacked the enemies like a lightning or like a strike of thunder. He began to dispel them from the right and the left. The enemies panicked and they began running in every direction. They began to flee on their horses, the ones on the right to the left and the ones to the left to the right. The body of Shah Qasim alayhi salam in the middle got trampled by the enemies. Allah, Allah, the Maktal mentions when the dust settled down, they were able to see Imam al-Hussein sitting by the side of Shah Qasim. Imam al-Hussein put his head on the lap of Shah Qasim and he said to him, Oh my son Qasim, it hurts me that you called out to me and I was not able to respond, or when I responded it was way too late. The Maktal narrates that at this moment Shah Qasim was seen to be moving his legs up and down out of pain, having been struck on the head and his body being trampled. Allah, Allah. The narrations mention that when the ruh of Shah Qasim left his body, Imam al-Hussein lifted up Shah Qasim. He put his chest on the chest of Qasim and began to drag him back towards the Khaybaga. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. اللهم إنا نسألك بحق أبا عبد الله الحسين وبحق شاه قاسم اللهم عجل لولينا الفرج. Pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on a night like this by the sake of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein and by the sake of Shah Qasim to hasten the reappearance of Imam al-Hujjah. Pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the sake of Sayyid al-Shuhada and by the sake of Shah Qasim on a night like this to forgive us all our sins. Ya Allah, on a night like this, by the sake of Sayyid al-Shuhada and by the sake of Shah Qasim, Ya Allah, give us the tawfiq to serve you and to serve the religion of Rasulullah and to spread the message of Amir al-Mu'mineen and Ahlul Bayt. On a night like this, Ya Allah, by the sake of Sayyid al-Shuhada and Shah Qasim, Mu'mineen and Mu'minat who have gathered on this Farsh Azza. Ya Allah, do not let anybody leave except that you have fulfilled their except that you have fulfilled their hajat. Ya Allah, on a night like this, by the sake of Sayyid al-Shuhada and by the sake of Shah Qasim, Marhumin and Marhumat who have passed away, Ya Allah, you make their graves into a garden from the gardens of Jannah. On a night like this, Ya Allah, Mu'mineen and Mu'minat, Ya Allah, Mu'mineen and Mu'minat who are not in the best of health, you grant them shafa'ah. وآخر الدعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. يقول الله تعالى في كتابه الحكيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجه.